Moon Platoon, make sure that you are staying vigilant right now. Professor Meatball is, you should be as well. We're going to dive through the price action from after hours today and give you a little sense of exactly where GME is going and AMC as well. That's going to be towards the second half of this video. So if you're an AMC lover, go ahead and go to the timestamp listed in the description. But for GME, let's dive in head first. First of all, look at that MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, to look at some technical patterns here to give us a sense of where we are headed off to. A sharp divergence is what we're looking for, something like this, right? The orange line here was trending basically sideways, the normal after hours stuff, but this breakout right here is the sign for people to start piling into it, and how quickly the signal line picks up after it shows a $10 minute candle right there. So if you guys are looking for minutes to live on in infamy, that is April 26, 1640 at 4:40 p.m. Eastern time. From there, we saw a 7-part impulse wave. So I'm going to draw in yellow just to make it a little bit clearer, but this is the very beginning right here, if I can draw a straight line. And from there, we had a part 2, part 3, 4, 5, right, 6, this consolidation period here, and then 7 right above to 198, where we were soundly rejected. From there, we've been following the price live on the channel. If you guys want to catch one of these, you'll be able to see my pessimistic and optimistic charting. From there, I had a pivot where we dropped down to the VWAP and trended between the VWAP and 187 as a level of resistance. This is happening here. After it trended below its own VWAP, I predicted that it's going to now fall down to 180 to be caught there. It is actually staying above at 183, and we need to understand where. Why is this happening? Where did this come from? The news and the data. First things first, Stonko Tracker. We'll leave you in suspense for a while. If you came on the live show, you would already know the reason why. But Stonko Tracker here. We have the opportunity to look at 7,000 calls expiring in the money, half of which were not in the money until GME hit 168.93. This is actually a pretty interesting point right here, because we're talking about how many calls are going to be exercised, or at the very least sold at in the money by the end of this week. We're hoping for it to be above 170, and if you're looking for exactly 170 calls, there's 1,000 of them right here. That's a pretty easy distinction, right? If every single call up to 168.93 is currently in the money, then only 169 and $170 calls are going to be out of the money up to 170. So maybe all of these are 169. We don't know. But what you do know is how much of the short volume has been put against GME. For the last few weeks, we have been rising steadily until, boom, the 19th of February, one day before when we saw, allegedly we're going to see a good amount of share recall news. On 420, we saw these 2 days shorted with the most percent volume, up to 62.2 and 62.4%, and it has stayed up here. Even the last trading day, it has 59.4% in terms of shorted volume, which means the people that are trying to keep GameStop down are doing a job of trying to get as much volume as possible to hurt the stock with downward pressure. So they're running out of fodder, right? We have seen GME still at 1% borrow rate, 1.1%. Now it's actually different, down 1%. But we were seeing that at 0 a couple of times last week. That was because they're running out of material to throw at GME. And now for the major news here. Here's a press release from the investor relations website of GME. On the 5th, they filed a prospectus supplement where that caused a large amount of panic selling, right? People thought that GME was going to try and jump ship and offer 3.5 million shares of common stock, right? They ultimately already sold them. So they already sold 3.5 million shares of common stock today and generated $550 million more money to throw around for their e-commerce transformation. This is what picked up on the news catalysts here. This news came out on today, and it picked up on Yahoo Finance, and from there we were even able to see it right there. GameStop shares jump after Reddit favorite raises $551 million in stock sales. CNBC and the Global Newswire picked it up, and now here we are tracking the price live of GameStop with me, Andrew, and Professor Meatball. He just took a shower, so he is a little scruffy right now. Where are we looking for GME to go forward to? Well, let's take a look at the option chain for this week, right? Like we said, Stockholm Tracker is going to have to update because we're looking at the next benchmark here, 7,000 calls expiring. That is a ton. If you guys want to be able to find out exactly how much more that was since last week, then go ahead and go back to the daily data dives that I have on Twitter, AndrewMoMoney on Twitter and Instagram as well. I'm going to go in and look briefly at AMC's price action today, especially since AMC played around a good amount with these double top here at 1196. AMC ultimately had a very positive day. Let's get rid of these drawings real quick. Traveling above 1116, where it crossed through its VWAP, supported by the VWAP here twice, and from there you likely could see the exact same place being supported by the VWAP at 11.10 cents. Upward it goes from a two-part impulse here, 1, 2, to a three-part impulse right here. So we have 1, 2, 3 there. When it hit from 1116 to 1147, that was only a 50-cent rip, but it gave AMC enough of the momentum it needed to travel far and away, diverged from its VWAP here. One of the thoughts that you should have when we see AMC hit a level of resistance that it hasn't seen in a couple of weeks is, will this double top? Because it's coming from an uptrend. And if it hits the same top twice, this is a investor behavior that indicates that the people that are investing in the stock currently are trying to squeeze the last juices of the price hitting 1192. Once it hit twice and rejected soundly both times, we were expecting a negative downturn here, a 5-part correction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as it tried one last time to rally during the pre-market. During the power hour, last few minutes before it headed into the power hour here, headed into the after hours here, we saw that AMC, if we track it over GME in parallel, so let me go back all the way to when I have my little drawings here, you'll be able to see something interesting. If we track GME and AMC together, hold on. Let's clear the slate and draw some brand new ones here. We'll note where a GME is hitting its simple moving average. So here, well, actually make it yellow. So here, we see it hit the simple moving average here. I'm tracking this blue line and the price action here, and we see it hit one more time before it plunged below its simple moving average. And let's just track briefly what the price action looks like here. A dip downward here, and then from here a correction after hitting 198, and then a large 1-minute candle here. Let's now track that over at AMC's price trajectory. Boom. Looking at the exact same 1-minute candle here, except that AMC goes from 1130 to 1160. Right, we see a opportunity for AMC to ride this wave upward here with this red arrow, and then an opportunity for AMC to hit its top, basically at the exact same area where GME hit it, and then start a slide downward. So these stocks trade in tandem because of ETFs. These stocks trade in tandem because the same people have risk and reward in these stocks, but this is getting to be a little bit too suspicious with the price movement not nearly as high. It's 10x the magnitude of the price movement, but the trend of AMC and GME a little bit too specifically together. Thank you guys for watching this technical analysis to the end, as well as a small news update. If you guys appreciate the grind and coming back during after hours after a 7-hour session bell to bell, I would really appreciate a quick like on this video. If you guys wanted to support me, there's the join button is down below waiting for you, or a Patreon link, and we'll see you in the money. Peace.